All right, so hello everybody. This is ChinaBlue, and you're listening to WSB 90.1 FM. I'm your host Steven, and with me today are.
My name is Joy. I'm currently a sophomore and a biology major.
I'm Michael. I'm also a sophomore and I'm a computer science major.
Hi, I'm Susan and I'm a psych major.
All right, and our topic for today is going to be fashion trends in China. So, yeah, where to begin with that? What are you guys feeling? What do you think about current fashion trends in China?
They're definitely very stylish.
It's like I feel like a lot of stuff is like the things you see on like there's like streetwear where it's like what you expect to see on like a Vogue cover magazine. It's like that type of stuff.
Isn't that so, or is that just what the social media wants you to think?
That is very true.
I mean, it really depends on like the region that we're at, like because there are some people who are like really fashionable, right? Like you go there and then you're like, wow, nice fit and everything. But then there are also some people who just, go shirtless. And then so it really depends on like which like part of China you're at, I guess. And like what type of person. Like it also depends on like the age, you know what I mean? Because I know a lot of like
there's
old men, they kind of go shirtless.
The shirtless
or like
joggers
they,
in the
they
morning.
wear or like they wear a crop top,
And they just like kind of sit outside and just smoke a cigarette and they just like wave hi to you.
Oh goodness.
No, there's a lot of people like that.
But yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying like the clothes in China that are fashionable are typically really expensive. So not too many people are going to be able to afford it.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's like a big like
So that's why
kind of difference between brands. I feel like certain brands, the pricing is like almost like half a yearly income, which is absolutely insane.
Right? It's insane.
Like imagine like working for a year just to buy like half a Gucci shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
yeah,
what do you think about? What do we think
continue.
about, the Douyin stuff, the streetwear trend?
Oh, TikTok, Chinese
TikTok. The TikTok streetwear.
Yeah.
I feel
like some of them like dress like models, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's always the really baggy pants. Like the
oversized
pants.
Stuff.
What's that thing called? The little pouch thing that you have. Like you see the Chinese aunties with it in like flea markets, and so where they put all their money.
Fanny pack.
Always the fanny pack.
I would never wear that.
I feel like there's so many people that wear fanny packs in China.
No, it really depends because there are some like good looking ones and there are some like not so good looking ones, like you know what I mean? So like like honestly for like teenagers, right? So like that's why I said it really depends on your age. For some teenagers, they wear like really fashionable, stylish type of
fanny packs.
Yeah, that. And then like, you're talking about the old ladies, right? Like they wear like this different kind. So
the non-branded fanny packs. I don't know. I feel like if you're working any occupation, you kind of just have a fanny pack. That's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like the hype beast stuff with like all the different symbols and stuff. That's like yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a lot to look at.
Honestly, like a lot of the transfer students, right? Like at Stony Brook, like I see a lot of them were just like really hype beasts. Like they just wear Supreme like all over their shirt, like over the body. Like
you can tell they're
logos
rich.
Everywhere.
That's pretty.
You can see the logo anywhere. They will literally turn the shirt inside out, and the logo is also on the inside. Like it's how it is. It's like athleisure wear. It's like the kind of it looks like sweatpants and like jogging clothes, but at the same time it's like just brands and stuff everywhere, so it's fashionable. Yeah, like kind of what Michael's wearing, but there's no logos on that because he's poor.
Yeah, I'm just wearing the most typical.
They can't see what Michael's wearing.
Yeah,
but okay.
it's audio season.
Oh wait, shame.
Sadly.
But so there's also high-waisted pants.
I wouldn't say
technically
like Asian.
Yeah, like that's really popular everywhere.
No,
It's kind of
honestly,
just
like
something
I kind of only wear high-waisted pants. Cause like it's the style, no? Like high-waisted pants and then like crop top, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like way too basic. Like the Chinese streetwear, there's like it's not basic like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in China it's like that, but you know, in America, us Chinese Americans, you know, that's what we wear.
I don't know. There's like that one brand, Shanghai Tang, and it's like some super luxury brand that like only the like really rich people in China wear. But then like when you look at their clothing, it's kind of like very like basic dress shirts
Mm.
and like I don't know how to explain this. If you've ever watched the movie It Man, it's what It Man wears like 4 out of 5 movies. It's like the shirt with the buttons, but the buttons are like not actual buttons. They're like sticks kind of.
They're just stitched on there.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I don't know. They look kind of nice, but it feels so old.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's like
really
the
old fashioned.
fresh out the dojo type of look, you know?
Oh yeah, the button downs too,
Yeah.
the cardigans.
I just feel like old fashioned clothes are becoming like a pretty big trend too, just on its own.
Oh yeah, there's like they're like
Oh,
grandmas on TikTok that wear like the traditional clothes. They like just walk down the street.
Yeah, our friend Joy here will have a lot of experience with that. Isn't that right, Joy?
course
Follow her
not.
on Instagram
Dresses.
at Joy Lin with 3 Ys.
You're not even saying it right.
Drop the Insta, drop the Insta.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to take a look, you know, follow me on Instagram at joyyy.lin.
Oh my god.
That's how he promotes it.
But honestly, like I've seen a lot of different styles. It's just it really depends on like when you see it, where you see it. But when I cuz my mom actually she uses like this Chinese website, like this app, right? And then like on these Chinese apps, like it's like really like they're relatively cheap. Like it's pretty cheap honestly for these outfits and they're like really like nice looking. Like usually it comes in like a set or like I don't know how to explain it, but like they're like really nice looking clothes. So
It's
like
like the what's on the website? There's this one I always Yes Style. But I feel like
oh
that's not
yeah,
Chinese. Is it
that's
Chinese?
not very Chinese.
It's like Korean.
Isn't it? That's more Korean. Yeah, that's the one I used to use.
Yeah, I thought that it was made by like this Chinese guy.
I'm not
Huh?
very sure. I just order from it. What about Shein?
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
that
These like
I've
websites, they're like a perfect
heard about
example.
it, but it's mostly more feminine wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an Asian guy that made Yes Style.
Hmm.
an Asian guy? The Chinese or Asian guy?
Chinese
Oh,
guy.
Chinese.
Chinese, right?
He's in the South China Post, you know, very Chinese.
Oh.
All right. We also have the haircuts. It's oh no. I feel like for Michael knows the struggle. Asian dudes, we have like what, like four acceptable haircuts or hairstyles.
And one of them is bald.
One of them's basically bald. And then there's like the spiky upward hair, which is like basically what I have. There's like the pompadour.
They can't see it, Steven. You gotta describe it.
I mean, I feel like people would know what a pompadour is. No?
Yes.
No.
I mean,
Like-
I have a vague idea.
I mean, it's okay. It's like just imagine if like, oh, I don't want to. I feel like it sounds really bad if I said it like this, but like if like a bird made like a nest on your head, and it was like in like a perfect like I don't know like bowl shape, and the bowl no bad at describing this.
Steven is having technical difficulties.
You guys know what a pompadour looks like.
Yeah, we'll just have our listeners they can look it up, Steven.
Yeah, they can look it up.
Oh,
We got the pompadour, we got the straight hair. And then there's like the flop, and then there's like the middle part. And I think that's about it. And I feel like you can't pull off two of them if you have short hair.
What about the mushroom hair?
Oh, the
gosh.
the bowl cut?
The bowl.
Oh wait, that's true. We make it 5. Okay, we're up to 5.
Right. I feel like a lot of
Honestly,
the hairstyles.
Chinese dudes.
Go ahead.
Your hairstyles are
Go ahead,
pretty similar. I'm not gonna lie.
You can't tell the difference between like 3 of them. Like the bowl cut and like the normal hair almost look the same. And then the pompadour looks the same as like the spiky hair. And it's just like, oh, what are we doing out here?
Oh god, what about the perm?
Oh, good.
Wait, but do
I
Chinese
feel like
people
that's a
actually
really
have that?
Americanized hairstyle.
I
That's
feel like
really
perms are more
in
Americanized.
prevalent
China, I don't really see that much of Chinese
Yeah.
hair.
The
I think
Korean
perms are more
perm.
so over here.
Yeah, it's more Korean, I think.
I feel like recently they've been doing more like dyed hair,
Yeah.
like the highlights and stuff. I know there's like one thing where it's like, I don't know what it's called, but it's like your hair is like one color and it like lines up towards the end.
Wait, what?
It's like if they make your hair like kind of blonde and it's like even a like lighter blonde at the tips. There's a name for this.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Me either.
It's like a color gradient. It's like a fade kind of.
Like an ombre?
Interesting.
I don't know what ombre means. How do I spell it?
OMBRE. But it's just like,
Yeah, like that.
Bro, that's so like last 10 years ago.
Oh. Don't call him out. He's a
Why are you
little.
calling
He's a
him out?
little.
I haven't been
Steven's
in
a
China
little
for
old. Don't
10
call him
years,
out.
okay? I haven't seen China in 10 years. I don't know. I feel like ombre hair was a thing, at least back when I was in China.
I mean, I can't really say for like guys, but like I know for girls, like we have like a bunch of different hairstyles.
I would say like it's more like the balayage that the Asian Americans are kind of adapting to. The balayage. No?
What?
Define that
What
word.
is a balayage?
It's like, the classic like blonde highlights in your hair
Oh yeah.
and the thick lashes,
The
No,
ABG
but
look.
I feel like Chinese
the
people
same thing as
don't like
ombre.
when they're in China, it's not like I don't really see a lot of ABGs in China.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I do
It's
see a lot of
definitely more
those like
of Americanized.
brown hair with like highlights or like red, like kind of red highlights, I guess. Like kind of like the Asian like mid-age aunties. Like I don't know how to describe it, but like usually like for like my aunties, like that's how their hair looks like. It's just like long, kind of long, and then it's just like brown, kind of red highlights.
Tattooed eyebrows.
Oh, definitely.
Honestly, yeah, there's not a lot of like Asian Chinese hairstyles. It's mainly like Korea and like Japan. They have a lot that's like unique to their
We kind of lack variety in the hair department.
Mhm.
Oh, it's
I
kind of
mean,
hard because like we have
I
like
mean,
generally
go on.
dark hair and it's like all very straight, so it's like hard to do a lot of stuff with it.
And it's also the mindset that like usually Chinese people, they're more traditional, so like they don't really like dyeing their hair that much. Because I know that a lot of my grandparents, like they see dyed hair and they're like, oh my god, like why this girl dyeing her hair white, man? Like I don't even want white hair, and they're purposely dyeing it white.
It's that whole like your body belongs to like your parents and you can't like desecrate your body type thing. It's like the whole argument with
they usually like leaving it black. They're like, oh, it's secure, it's like traditional. And then like, yeah, honestly, I don't really see a lot of dyed hair in China. It's more so in like other countries like Korea, especially because of like those K-pop idol type trends. But yeah, but like one hairstyle that is very well known like for China is like the bob hair,
Oh,
the bob haircut. Yeah,
The typical
like
pop
because I
haircut,
know that
yeah.
like yeah I know like in Chinese schools, right, in their schools, like they don't allow like long hair. Like unless you're a dancer or something, they require you to cut off your hair to like short, not even medium, short length. And then it's always that like that line in the middle, and then it goes like.
Is that why
It's
you
like
cut your
it's like a
hair,
bob.
Joy?
No, it's not.
basically all the
But,
schoolgirls in China have your
It's
classic
the
bob
Joy
cut.
haircut.
no, short hair is very like convenient, definitely, especially when you're washing your hair.
All right, taking a
Yeah.
music break.
想要和你低空飞行，和你的手机扬起。假如迷雾你看不清，不如坠入我的心灵。想带你从吵闹到安宁，想带你从多云的转晴，想要为你整理脚底，为你的手机试纸。
又过了每晚给你热牛奶的时间，风特和写着我们没看完的影片。离开我的时间，你是否还失眠？从不熬夜的我也明显黑了眼圈。你送的网络依然陪在身边，细数间发现从开始到终点又重演。
我想和你一起闯进森林，潜入海底。我想和你一起看日出到日落天晴。我想和你穿过隔离位置和时间飞行。我想牵你穿过教堂和人海拥抱你。我想和你。我想和你。想要和你低空飞行，和你的手机扬起。假如迷雾你看不清，不如坠入我的心灵。想带你从吵闹到安宁，想带你从多云的转晴，想要为你整理脚底，为你的手机试纸。
又过了每晚给你热牛奶的时间，风特和写着我们没看完的影片。离开我的时间，你是否还失眠？从不熬夜的我也明显黑了眼圈。你送的网络依然陪在身边，细数间发现从开始到终点又重演。我想和你一起闯进森林，潜入海底。我想和你一起看日出到日落天晴。我想和你穿过隔离位置和时间飞行。我想牵你穿过教堂和人海拥抱你。
我想和你。我想和你。我想和你。
在路过那家咖啡店，熟悉又陌生的地点，驻足希望你的身影会出现。还没说出口的抱歉，曾和你约定的诺言，抬头闭眼，让泪流进心里面。
我想和你一起闯进森林，潜入海底。我想和你一起看日出到日落天晴。我想和你穿过隔离位置和时间飞行。我想牵你穿过教堂和人海拥抱你。我总是轻描淡写告诉你我的愿望，也给你千言万语都说不尽的目光。这世界总有人在忙忙碌碌寻宝藏，成功的 想，原来所谓爱情是这模样。就承认一笑倾城，一见自难忘。说什么情深似海，我却不敢当。最浪漫不过与你并肩看夕阳，我心之所向。想和你游四风生情雨的风光，想和你铺纸笔写余生的篇章。笑与泪都分享，管情节多跌宕，我们不散场。你是我偶然听闻敏感于心的歌唱，也是我惊鸿一瞥后拥抱的芬芳。这世界风华正茂，可别辜负好时光。古城里长桥上，人如海，车成行。你笑得像光芒，蓦然把我照亮。风轻扬，夏未央，林荫路单车厢。原来所谓爱情是这模样。就承认一笑倾城，一见自难忘。说什么情深似海，我却不敢当。最浪漫不过与你并肩看夕阳，我心之所向。想和你游四风生情雨的风光，想和你铺纸笔写余生的篇章。笑与泪都分享，管情节多跌宕，我们不散场。
我走进天梯，整理表情，调整呼吸，努力不让眼泪决堤。这不算打击，不是末日，不用伤心，不过是再一次失去而已。我还可以前往更美好的故事里，只是分手，分手不算什么。心里一张合影，一些回忆，一次来不及的旅行。靠海的房子，像样的猫，唯独的树和你最爱的那一首歌曲难免。可惜我的戏份提早到结局，你也难过，才和他在街头拥抱。还不是谁不好，我都知道。也许是你要的，我就是给不了。那一次争吵，在哭着和好，其实我早明了，是我们都不够好，渴望被需要，才带着各自寂寞向彼此投靠。爱从不曾徒劳，我能勇敢地跌倒。那一件行李，一张合影，一些回忆，一次来不及的旅行。靠海的 的房子、像样的猫、纬度的树和你最爱的那一首歌曲，难免可惜我的戏份提早到结局，你也难过，才和他在街头拥抱。分开不是谁不好，我都知道，也许是你要的我就是给不了，那一次争吵在哭着吼，其实我早明了，是我们都不够好，渴望被需要，才带着各自寂寞向彼此投靠，爱从不曾徒劳，我能勇敢的跌倒。是谁不好，我都知道，也许是你要的我就是给不了，那一次争吵在哭着嚎，其实我早明了，是我们都不够好，渴望被需要，才带着各自寂寞向彼此投靠，爱从不曾徒劳，我能勇敢的跌倒，爱让我们跌倒，再把对的人找到。
谁在追，让你我跑得狼狈？谁的嘴，把你我要的自卑？谁判的罪，让你我一阵羞愧？别后退，是时候停止击坠，别理会，谁将要无照奔飞？问心无愧，把谎言全都击碎。绝不能心灰，他们有一天会惭愧，我们天生想成主对，高贵。曾被压榨的，曾被吓跑的，曾被强迫的，
All right, and we're back. So next topic is TikTok and Douyin trends. When Susan's got quite a bit to say about that.
All right, so like, you know, how kind of like mid quarantine, you know, like Douyin, the Chinese TikTok kind of took American TikTok by storm, you know, like
By storm. That's very, very dramatic, but yes, I do agree with that.
So with that, there was a trend of like this, like they had this streetwear trend where there was like hip music in the background.
No, we know what you're talking about.
You know, and then I just think that it's a really good representation of how much China has really come out of its like traditional aura that they had in the past. Because usually before this whole like TikTok trend, China was known as like the traditional conservative, like you dyed hair was like never seen, like tight clothing, like
Tight clothing,
clothing, like it was never really seen on the streets. But then with the emergence of TikTok, I feel like it was a really good it just emphasized how a really good change of how China, oh my god, a
really good representation of how China changed.
To more accepting standards.
Yeah, definitely. Because like I've seen the TikToks and then it's just like, you know, like girls are usually like wearing like very shorter, tighter clothing, crop tops, high-waisted pants, like we said before. And even on like those like, you know, Chinese websites, right? Like it's usually inspired from like TikToks and like, well, not inspired from TikToks, but like usually like what you see on like those Chinese websites for like clothing, it's usually like very similar to the ones you see on TikTok, which is like fashionable, but like obviously not as traditional as it was in the past.
Yeah, I
Right,
feel
guys?
like crop tops especially are like a very recent like acceptance. Like if you've ever watched like any like Asian reality TV show or like drama, like everyone you never see a crop top on anyone until like
Yeah, that's
very
true.
recently, like the
Yeah,
last
because
year.
like usually grandparents are like, oh my god, no belly button. Like why you show your belly button? Like that's very sacred. And then now people are just, you know,
Sacred belly
showing their
button.
belly buttons.
Oh,
It
the
looks really
belly
nice
buttons
though,
were too
definitely.
scandalous before, you know? They couldn't handle it.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely
Would
feel
you
like
guys
TikTok
consider?
has brought out. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, would you guys like consider this like more of a Western influence then?
Oh yeah, I feel like it's a very big Western influence. Like I feel like a lot of the like current trends are kind of like following up on like what's trending here in the US. I feel like a big part of it is kind of like lots of people have family over here and you're like ABG, ABC families like send their pictures back to like their like family in China and they're like, oh my god, look at what your cousin over in America is wearing. And then like it kind of becomes this whole thing where they like follow up on it's like, oh, bring clothes back when you like come visit.
Oh yeah.
It's always to bring clothes back when you come visit.
Wait, really?
Like I don't know if it's just me, but like when I went back to China like 2 or 3 years ago, literally like relatives were always just like, okay, can you buy me like this brand or this clothes? And
Oh,
like I literally had like one small suitcase and we had like 3 big suitcases just for them.
Yeah.
And
And it's not
just,
even
like,
suitcases. It's like those big black bags. That's like
bags, yeah.
tied up, right? Yeah. And then no,
Why do they
usually
feel like
what we
Santa
send
Claus?
back is like medication. It's not like for me it's not
It's like chocolate, medication,
yeah.
all of that
Like
good stuff.
I
Plastic
guess
food
clothing
wrapping
is a
is
thing
really
now
good.
too.
Clothing, I feel like it's more from like China to here, just because it's like cheaper over there.
Yeah. I feel like Chinese clothing is a lot cheaper if you buy from China.
In China, there's a lot of like weird off brands that you run into.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like I remember I bought a Nikkei shirt. YOLO.
What?
It's like they changed one letter in like a major brand.
they changed Nike into
And
Nikkei.
It was
I
yeah,
remember
Nikkei.
I remember they did something with Adidas too.
Yeah, it was like Abibas or something.
Yeah.
It's like one letter.
Joking.
Okay,
And they
yeah.
also add like a dot to the brand. I mean, it's still quality stuff. It's just
It is. It's the same material. It's just not the brand anymore.
yeah, it's just not the brand
Mhm.
anymore.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about TikTok? Susan?
No.
I guess not.
No. Yeah, because like it's honestly really hard to like gauge what everyone's wearing because everyone has like different styles and like
Mhm.
honestly even with TikTok like there's still some families that are like, oh, we should restrict our family to wearing this, like we shouldn't be wearing like these scandalous type clothing, you know? But yeah, I guess like in the end it really comes down to where you live, what age you are, what kind of family you have,
Your general household
etc.
income.
Yeah, that's why like um we're like kind of split because like right now there's like we see people with like crop tops, but we also see people like very bundled up and like, you know, like more like older type clothing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like um on TikTok like there's like dyed hair and stuff, but like when you
Yeah.
actually go out to like when I actually went back to China, I really didn't see a lot of people with dyed hair.
Oh, I think
So
it's like a thing too. Like there was a lot of people just saying how like, oh, like everyone in China dresses like this, you know? And then there is some other people who are just like arguing that, saying that like what you see in these douyins, they're just taken at a specific place. Like there's this specific mall that everyone goes
mhm,
to like take these pictures. And they're there solely for the purpose of like having photographers take their pictures. So I think
mhm,
you just have to keep in mind that this is a relatively new thing and not everyone is like this in China.
yeah.
Kind of like just the difference between like what you see like a model would wear on a day-to-day basis versus like the
Yeah.
average person.
Mhm. Well, you know, I saw this one TikTok where it was like comparing Korean, Japanese, and Chinese like outfits, right?
Yeah.
Like their style. And it was kind of like, you know, Japanese was like cuter style.
Mm.
And then Korean was like, what was Korean style? It was like in between. Well, it was like nice, pretty looking. I'm not really sure which one
Fashionable.
fashionable. And then Chinese was like sexy type of style,
Mhm.
which
Wow.
I guess I understand that, but like um I rarely see that. But yeah. Like usually like on TikTok, yeah, they do look sexy on TikTok, but like you go out in like general, you go out in general, you don't really see that.
It's
Not the
very
not the
just normal.
entirety of China is dressed super sexy on the streets.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Maybe if you go
Just
to
the
like the
front they
city,
put
you'll
on.
see more of that. But then like I went to like not really a city kind
Mhm.
of atmosphere type of setting. So like it was like more of a countryside. So like obviously like you won't be seeing that there. Anyone else want to add on? Okay, if
Guess
not,
not.
let's move on.
We can move on to the more older and
Let's move on
traditional.
to traditional. So we went from modern to like in between the transition, TikTok, and then back to all the way to traditional.
Mhm.
Right.
But
So I feel like one of the biggest and personally my favorite thing was that like post like communistic China, basically everyone had the same hairstyle and it was like the bald ponytail. It's like basically there's like no hair on your head except for just one
Bald on the
hair,
front,
mhm,
and then
hair
it's
on the
just like the
back.
ponytail from there.
the things that you see like in traditional Chinese drama,
Yeah.
like with the Huang Shang, and then they're like they have the crown, and then it's like on a bald head, and all of a sudden it's like a really long thing all at the back.
Real.
Exactly. I don't understand how they get their hair like that. Cause it's just like, how do you keep like, you just keep shaving literally everything but the square?
Yep. Yep.
Just imagine, like it's not in a ponytail and all you have is just like continuous like square block of hair going up. But yeah, basically before like communist China, everyone had this hairstyle. And after the whole like Mao Zedong thing, I think to show that you're part of the Communist Party, they like would cut the ponytail and they just go full bald. And then from that point on, they'd actually start growing like hair everywhere.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, but like, what do you guys think about like how they dress? Like moving on from like hairstyles, because like I know that like for back then, right? for hairstyles, it's like for guys, it's like the bald ponytail, but then like for females, it's like relatively they all look pretty similar. It's just more like the accessory that they have are different. But like it's
true.
usually like all tied up here, you know what I mean? And then like they place like this huge ornament thing on top of their hair. That's usually like how they did back in traditional, like for traditional outfits and like hairstyles.
All right, like the very fancy like hairpins that are like I think like very common ones are like bird, like peacock type of things. There's like jewels and stuff engraved. They like hold your hair up in like a bun or something.
Yeah.
Ornament wise were a really big thing in like traditional Chinese culture. Like a lot of like headpieces basically. Like there's the things you see on like the emperor where they like have like this little crown on their head and then they put like a pin through the crown to hold their hair up and there's like little bun on top of the crown. I feel like that was like a really big thing for like a long time. And then kind of slowly like digressed to more like free and loose hair where they stopped using the hairpins and they kind of just grew their hair out. For like, you know, your traditional like Chinese martial arts drama, like flowing hair type stuff.
Well, the way you're talking about this sounds like you were there, Steven.
He was.
My
He lived in
family
the
does
ancient
do a lot of
times.
antique stuff.
He
And most of
was.
those are hair pieces. So I get a lot of random history lessons here.
He can also talk to you about what males wear for traditional outfits because he's worn one before too.
Oh.
What was it for,
forgot the name
Steven?
of what that was called. No, we'll not bring up that event. You know, this is for another time.
You're right.
What was it? It was like a male hanfu.
Yeah, it was a handful.
Yes. No, for the longest time I thought hanfus were like Korean, but apparently they're Chinese.
They're
Like,
Chinese.
the Han Dynasty. I don't know. I just assumed like what was it? Out of the dresses, it's like Japanese is kimono, Korean is hanfu, and then Chinese is like qipao.
No.
Qipao came out at a later time. Qipao came
Yeah,
out at a later
hanfu
time.
was like all the way back there.
Yeah,
Back
and then
then.
I learned that
Yeah.
hanfu
And
was
then
like
qipao was like more modern, to be honest. Because if you think about it, qipao is really sexy. So like it goes from like wrapping yourself. Okay, guys, stop. It's a word to describe how it looks, you know. Okay, but like hanfu was like really wrapped up, honestly. Like it's like layers and layers of clothing, and then you get qipao all the way afterwards. When there's like cars, you know. Like that's how I remember from like Chinese dramas, because like there's like those Chinese dramas where it's like, you know, you still got emperors and they're riding carriages and everything, and then you get you know, in a more kind of traditional and like modern in between, like you get the cars, you get the cheap house type of outfits. But I'm not gonna lie, hanfus are so pretty. They're really good looking.
I just remember it taking like a solid 20 minutes to put on. Like yeah, I like four
really...
different ropes and knots, and I don't really know what they hold together. I just know that should.
Yeah, like hanfus are really nice to look at, but they're also really hard to put on. It's like layers and layers on top of clothing, and then you gotta like wrap it a certain way. And then like I remember I wore the hanfu, right? And then like they were like, oh, you have to like tie it this way so it looks more like authentic. And I'm like, oh, there's like a certain way of tying this. Like I can't just make a bow knot and call it a day, you know?
But yeah, outside of like hanfus and like your traditional headpieces, I feel like a majority of China, like, because most of those dress stuff is like for like the upper class. I feel like the lower class, like more common folk, it was more like your like the button-up shirts that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
in the pants.
Yeah, the pants.
Yeah, because they're usually like doing something.
Not so.
Like yeah, because like they usually don't wear dresses. They like wear pants and like a shirt. Like, and they're very light too. So like it helps them. Like it's better for like when they're like trying to work on a plantation or something. Like I don't know.
It's the button-down
But
shirt,
yeah,
the short pants, and then
definitely.
there's the pointy-toed shoes. Of I'm not entirely sure what those are for.
Is there anything else that we missed out? I feel like there's something we didn't talk about.
Is there like some secret phase in between where we? I feel like was there like a transition between like your like hanfus and stuff to like modern wear? Like was there something in between?
What was something in between? There
it's
was
like
a
a
history in
button-down.
between, yeah.
It's like the button-down shirts, the most typical thing. And then where everyone had like buzz cuts and stuff.
I feel like there was like a phase where, because you know how there was like a colonial presence in like China from like the British people. Wasn't there like a phase where they wore like a lot of like British stuff, like the big top hats and the like British like suits and stuff? I feel like this is definitely a phase.
What?
Maybe.
Like okay, so you know
What?
how there was that. Oh my god, I keep referring back to it, man. But you know how in Japan, there's like that whole thing where like like the British like took Hong Kong or something,
Oh,
and there's like the English
Yeah.
people there, and now everyone's like kind of changing up their style to like these like kind of like British
Interesting.
like European type
Yep,
things.
yep.
I feel like this is like an actual thing. Like I'm not taking this solely from the movie.
oh no, we weren't there. We can't
Yeah,
say.
we weren't
He
there.
might have been there.
I'm not
Honestly,
that
like
old, Michael.
the
It's
history,
1
I'm not
year.
very sure about, but obviously we can see that the outfits do change from time to time, right?
Wow, Steven, you sound like you were there for most of these like time periods.
I'm not this old, I swear. Oh,
He's a super senior.
I've only seen half.
I don't think he's a super senior no more if he's been to all these time periods.
It's okay.
He's ancient.
Please don't expose my secrets like this. We're still going live.
All right. But other than that, I think that much is it, right?
Yeah, we've pretty much covered all the bases.
Yeah, so just to sum up, it's kind of like traditional hanfu qipao, and then you get to modern, which is now, which is crop tops,
Crop top,
Yep.
high piece wear,
Baggy clothes.
high-waisted
baggy.
pants.
Oh, we also forgot the sweaters. They do wear like really big sweaters too.
Yep. Oversized clothing.
Right, there's also like the grandma sweaters that you see like.
Oh my
everywhere.
god.
Everything in Seoul. So thank you for listening to WSB 90.1. This has been China Blue, and please look forward to us next week.